Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick video here on my thoughts on the Mac Mini, it's an M4, versus the iMac M4. It is the year 2025 for some reference. Actually, it's October, a couple weeks away from Halloween. And so I have a Mac Mini M4 from this year, and I just got an iMac M4 refurb a few days ago, and I've had time to spend time with both. Just a small amount of background of what I use these Macs for. Of course, I have the YouTube channel called Quest for Gear, and I am a home amateur recording person. I record myself and my friends and some bands, and been dipping into a little commercial stuff as well, getting a little bit of work that way. Been doing this for about 25 years. So guitar, bass, drums, synthesizers, all the things, rock bands would need to record themselves. So of course, with that kind of gear, you tend to need a DAW or a digital audio workstation at the heart of your setup to record with. And Mac is obviously a very strong choice, whether you're doing video or audio or anything creative, graphics. Mac is a very strong choice over Windows. There's no Bill Gates involved. You won't get viruses. You won't get crypto locked. And I know some people say, well, you could get a virus. Yeah, well, I could walk out the front door of my house and get hit by a meteorite. But guess what? It's not really going to happen. Okay. So for the actually guys out there, they're like, actually, Mac could get a virus. No, just knock it off. It ain't gonna happen. I've been an IT person since the year 1995. I've seen one Mac virus in my life. It had something to do with a pirated copy of Adobe something or other, Premiere or something like that. And the virus did nothing. So just statistically, historically, data-wise, you're not going to get a virus on Mac. So it's another great reason to put a Mac computer in front of anyone. So I had originally bought an iMac, fully loaded, $2,500 Canadian. I got it home and I was like, I'm going to cheap out. I'm having buyer's remorse because it was so much money. So I went and I got the Mac Mini, which you can get any day of the week. You can run down to your Best Buy or your Staples, and they just have them there. At least Best Buy did. I had to drive about an hour from where I'm at in Ontario, but picked up a Mac Mini. Cost me about 1,300 Canadian with tax. And this is the M4 with 512 solid-state hard drive in it, 16 gigs of RAM, and it is the 10 core because I need all the ports, because I need to add extra peripherals, because as you can see, as a studio person, you need extra peripherals. There's a Universal Audio Apollo there. I've got a mixer there. I've got MIDI keyboards and synthesizer stuff. Like, I need all the USB I can get, quite frankly. That is one thing that both on the Mac Mini and the iMac, they shortchange you on, is they very stingy, I find, with the ports. This iMac, being the 10 core, has 4 ports on the back. If you get the 8 core, you only get 2, and then you end up with all these dongly things. I mean, I got 4 ports on the Mac Mini. I still ended up with all the dongly things. Anyway, so that's my story. So I ended up with the Mac Mini, in which case you have to bring your own keyboard, mouse, and monitor. So that's one of the most obvious differences. We're going to talk today about some of the most obvious differences, and then some of the things that I found out in the last 3 days that you might not think of, that it's kind of annoying to have the Mac Mini over the iMac. Just keep in mind, the iMac was a solid $1,000 more. They're almost apples to apples in terms of spec, except that my refurbished iMac here, I got 24 gigs of RAM in the refurb, whereas my Mac Mini only has 16. So let's start with the really obvious stuff. The screen, you get a screen, okay? The keyboard and mouse, you get a keyboard and mouse. The Mac Mini, not so much. You got to bring your own screen. You got to bring your own keyboard and mouse. Now, here's what's not so obvious. You may be shocked for me to say this. It's my opinion. I was shocked myself as I sat down to use my new iMac versus my Mac Mini. You're not going to believe this, maybe. I like the LG screen better. This LG 4K screen that I bought from probably Staples or Best Buy, it is a 4K. I like it better than the 24-inch screen. And it's not a size thing. It's the richness and the deepness of the colors. And yes, I did play around with the Mac settings on the iMac 24-inch here. I went into the settings area and I played with the resolution. I played with all the little features and all the little presets. You can set it to be an iMac screen, or you can even emulate an LG screen, which is a weird thing. I know you can't tell from this video I'm taking, but this LG screen looks better. So I'm going, well, wait a minute now. I paid so much more for this iMac, and I like the LG 4K screen better. Now I really feel like I'm getting ripped off. I feel like they've sold me a $700 monitor as opposed to this $300 monitor, and I don't like it as much. So that was one thing. Let's go back to the keyboard and mouse. This iMac come with this magic mouse and keyboard. What's magic about it? Abracadabra, I hate it. That's what's magic about it. I hate this mouse. This is the worst mouse I've ever used in my life. And I do come from Windows, so yes, I did turn the right click on. So it's not a matter of I don't have my right click or I don't have to, function left click. It's not that. It feels terrible in my hand. It doesn't feel sharp, but it doesn't feel comfortable. I've got the scroll set to full out, and it still takes me like, oh, come on, little pointer. Come on across the screen. Like, it's just, I feel like I'm going like this. I'm going, oh, come on, pull. It's just nasty. I hate this mouse. I don't like the keyboard either. It's got this whole do my fingerprint thing. That thing, I know it's kind of new, or I believe that's a new feature to Mac. I would say 90% of the time when you need your password on this iMac, that's not even an option. So using my fingerprint as a password on this iMac is used so little or available so little or so inconsistently that I say, I won't even try. I'll just go ahead and put my password in, because what's the point if it's not always going to be there? That, and I mean, I only have the fingerprints I have. I can't do anything about my God-given hands. And it sucks. You got to go, oh, okay, please. Like, it sucks. So now you're zooming out and going, well, you got the Mac Mini, you got the iMac. What do you get? You get a monitor, which I don't like, a keyboard, which I don't like, and a mouse, which I don't like, right? Like, I'm getting ripped off right here, like for over here, I've got the screen for $300, and I got this really great Logi. The reason I went with this, I think they were $49 Canadian. I got my daughter a set as well. Hers is pink. You get them in nice, cool colors. Because this is Bluetooth. So I don't have to take up a USB dongle, right? Precious few USB ports that you even have. So that's why I grabbed this and I said, this little mini mouse, this is a cheap set. This is a very cheap set. I got it from Best Buy. It was like 49 Canadian. It feels really good, even though it's a small mouse. I'm just going to put the Magic Mouse with it, even though it is kind of a mini mouse. It's not a big old Logitech or a big old Microsoft mouse. It is Logi's little mouse. It feels excellent in the hand. When I click, it's like ka-chunk, like boom, boom. Like, I like the ka-chunky stuff. Now, this isn't mechanical, but it does have that, whereas this is just like, oh, I mean, it has the click sound, but there's something soapy feeling, something washed out feeling about clicking on this Magic Mouse. I love this little Logi set. I can't really tell you what it is. It's not going to really, I don't know why they wouldn't put the model number on it, but I do love this little set. I wish I could tell you what it is, because I love it so much. I bought my daughter and my wife this same set, and they can get theirs in colors. So again, without beating a dead horse, monitor, mouse, and keyboard comes with the iMac. Hate all three of them. Like this better. Now, the iMac comes with a webcam. I don't use webcams very much. If I'm going to do a Zoom meeting, I'm usually at work, unfortunately, on a Windows laptop. So the webcam doesn't mean much to me, but I could say there is probably value in this 12 megapixel with all its it's got this weird, it can follow you feature. I don't know how much dancing I'm going to be doing in front of my webcam that I'm just like, ooh, hey, ooh, hey. Like who needs that really, right? And Mac's really pushing that. They're like, our webcam can follow you. Isn't that cool? Well, who's doing this in a Zoom meeting? If I'm having a Zoom meeting, who's going, dun, 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 Like, who's doing that? Who needs the webcam to follow them? I'm not sure. I tend to, when I'm in a Zoom meeting, I tend to sit straight up. I don't do a lot of dancing in my Zoom meetings. OnlyFans, fine. But when I'm in Zoom business meetings, they told me no more dancing. Stop dancing. Okay, I get it. I will wear a shirt and I will just sit straight up in front of the webcam, and I don't really need Mac's little camera to somehow follow me. And I don't even know how that would work because it's just a little hole. It doesn't have any springs on it. It's just a little hole. How does it follow me anyway? So, and I mean, if I needed a dance camera, I can get dance cameras. I can put dance cameras up if I need dance cameras. Look at this. Look at this. There's my dance camera right there, right? Because most of my dancing I do here. Just right here, right? So, although Mac wants to push this camera that can somehow follow you with no springs on it, I don't get it. All right, is there anything else? They both have the gigabit Ethernet port, which is great. That's got it because I got the 10 core and it's right on the plug. Let's go down to the mess of wires here. You can see that, well, let's just go see it. I don't have it plugged in right now, but the Ethernet plugs in on the power pack. That's the white power pack for this. Okay, now, one of the major things that made me go get one of these as opposed to these is I want to start doing more audio recording out in the world. I want to pick stuff up and bring it to people's houses or bring it to people's farms or barns or churches or whatever. And I want to record more things, not in my smelly basement. So to do that, I find this little puck, although you might be like, oh, it's so cute, it fits in your pocket, and it does. I wear fat guy pants. I could pick this up and put it in the pocket of my fat guy pants. I really could. You don't believe me? I could. My fat guy pants have big pockets. I could pick this up, put it in my fat guy pants. I can. You're like, how? And I'm like, I don't know, my pockets are big. Anyway, but then I gotta pack up this monitor and its plug and its DVI cable and all the crap. You know, I got to unplug all this stuff, you know. Whereas this iMac, I know it's not a laptop. It's not a MacBook. I just got to grab this and its keyboard and mouse plug. Boom. It's less pieces. When you go to do these events, when you go to record another band or record at church or record a wedding or something, you got lots to think about. And a monitor, a power cable, and a HDMI cable or DVI, I don't know if it's HDMI, DVI, DisplayPort. Hey, a little note to the engineers. You should make more video connections. There's not enough video connections. You got HDMI and DVI and mini DVI, DisplayPort, VGA, RCA. It's like, stop making video connections. Anyway, whatever this port is, you have to pack up the display cable and the power cable and bring this whole thing with you. Whereas this just seems like less to carry. And you're like, well, you'll scratch your screen getting into your dirty van. Well, not really, because you see this amp case I have over here for a guitar amp? You can buy something like this for $42 specifically for a 24-inch iMac, and it has a handle on it. This whole thing becomes like a bag. Go check it on Amazon for yourself. And that's just the $42 one. You could probably buy a lot nicer travel case. In fact, I could make like a foam travel case for this. Could I do this for this? Yeah, but you still got this other monitor, blah, 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 blah. But going back to what I said 7 minutes ago, this monitor looks better. The built-in 24-inch monitor, in my opinion, does not look as good as this LG monitor. So you got to pick your poison. The iMac's a lot more money. The Mac Mini's a lot less money. Peripherals over here. Which way do you go? Well, geez, I don't know. You're going to have to weigh it out. You can save like $1,000 going with this one, the Mac Mini, right? And the M5s, just so you know, are probably on their way pretty soon. The day after I carted this one up, this refurb M4, they announced the M5s for, what is it coming first, the MacBooks? Because I think MacBooks is like their flagship, right? That's the one they really care about. So anyway, those are just a few observations. Yes, the iMac comes with a screen, a keyboard, and mouse. And yes, I hate all three of them.